Hello beautiful people and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be sharing with you how to create a classy daily makeup look and also how to transform it into a glam evening makeup look with very small easy steps. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe to my channel and turn on the notification bell so you'll be aware every time I post a new video. So if you guys want to see all the steps on how to achieve this look in the end, just make sure you keep on watching. Alright, so let's get into it. Firstly, I'm going to start with the primer, which I'm going to be applying it with my fingers. I'm usually giving it 1 minute to become tacky, and then we will move on with foundation. Moving on with the foundation, I'm now gonna apply one of my favorites, which is very lightweight. I put already 2 pumps in the back of my hand. I might not need all of it, but let's see. And using a stippling brush, just gonna firstly dab the product into the skin. And later on, if I feel like it's too much or I get enough coverage, I will just buff it in so it will reduce the aspect of full face. Might be slightly lighter for me because I'm fake tanning, but I'm gonna bronze it up a bit in the next step. So 2 pumps were more than enough, and I still have a little bit of product left, but I'm just gonna keep it here just in case I need to clean up some mistakes. Sometimes when you do a sculpting or bronzing, you might add too much of the product, so by having a bit of extra foundation available, you can just cover that up and blend it more. So let's see if I need this in the end. For the bronzing slash sculpting, I'm gonna go in with a concealer this time. And the great thing about using a dark concealer as a bronzer or contour is that in the same time, you get some extra coverage as well. I'm always going a bit higher than my actual cheekbone just because when you start blending it, it's eventually going lower. I just want to avoid getting super low, so then my contour will end up being close to my jawline, which will be looking very weird. As you can see, it starts to look really nice, and it's already gave me a bit of contour, but in the same time it's warming up my face. Just dotting the product and then tapping. I'm gonna apply a bit on the sides of my forehead and a little bit on the sides of my nose, just a little bit. I know I said I wouldn't do this mapping on my face just because then there's a pressure of having to blend it very fast, otherwise it will get dry and it will look patchy. But I don't know what happened to me this time. I usually don't do this dotting. And with the same brush, I'm just gently swiping this product and spreading it on the sides of my nose. And it gives me a really nice and soft contour. Next, I'm going in with concealer. I'm just gonna apply a tiny bit under my eye and on the side of my cheekbone, if I can call it like that. And of course a bit on my eyelids, just because I need it later on for the eyeshadow application. And I'm tapping on the product, mostly focusing on the area on the side of my nose. Looks a bit crazy at the moment, but trust the process. It's gonna give me a really nice lifting effect. Doing the same thing on the other side. Now you could just stop here, or if you want to look a little bit more chiseled and you want to make your face a little bit more snatched or contoured, you can go ahead with the same concealer. I'm just gonna add a little bit on the back of my hand, just for safety reasons, because I don't want to add too much. And then with my finger, I can apply a bit on the bridge of my nose. This will help my contour, which I did earlier, to pop, and it will give me a little bit of more contoured nose. Just gonna tap it with my finger. You can use a brush or you can use a beauty blender, whatever works for you. And then I can apply a little bit of the same concealer, but this time with the brush, under my contour. So this will make it a little bit sharper. And at the same time, if you went by mistake a bit too low, this is your time to lift up your cheekbone again. Whatever that's left on the back of my hand, I'm putting it on the center of my forehead. And last but not least, I'm just gonna tap in the concealer, which I apply as a base on my eyelids. Now that the foundation and contour / bronzing is done, I'm gonna go in with a cream blusher. This is one of my favorites as well. It's highly pigmented, and I'm just gonna use only 2 dots on each side and tap it in. I'm placing this above the contour that I just did. And with the rest of the product that's on the brush, I'm just gonna tap it on top of my nose. It's kind of giving me like a natural blush effect and like a healthy skin vibes. Now I'm gonna set up my face, especially my under eyes, with the loose powder. I'm firstly gonna tap in any crease to make it look a bit smoother and to reduce the extra product that usually builds up in this area. And then using a powder puff and my loose powder, I'm just gonna tap it under my eyes. Now to fix the rest of my face, I'm gonna use the same powder, but this time with a brush. I cannot focus. I'm gonna set the rest of my face using the same powder, but this time with a brush. I'm firstly gonna swipe off the excess of powder using the clean brush, just because I don't want to add more product under my eyes. Well, there she is. My beautiful daughter is back. I thought she's gonna sleep while I'm doing the tutorial, but she woke up right when I started. So what shall we do right now? We shall continue. Come to me. There she is. I'm gonna add just a bit of product and tap it on the area which I want to fix and mattify. I'm not gonna apply a lot of product because I want to keep my face looking glowy. Oh god. It's again one of those tutorials. focusing on the center of the face, mainly. Okay. What are you doing? I can't with you. How you do your makeup? Oh, you're doing mine. Good job. I think soon I don't need a makeup artist. I have my own. Do your makeup, mommy. Yes, good job. Next, I'm gonna go in with a powder blush just to fix the cream blush which I applied. I'm applying just a little bit because I don't want to make it too intense in the same time. Then I'm gonna apply a bit of bronzer on top of my contour just to intensify it a little bit. I'm applying a little bit on the sides of my forehead as well. And a little bit on my nose. I'm now gonna apply a highlighter, and this time I'm gonna go in with a cream one just because I want to give to myself a more dewy finish. So I'm just gonna tap this highlighter in on the sides of my cheekbones, towards the temples. The tip of my nose. That Cupid's bow, why not? And chin. I can never stop with highlighter. Last but not least, I'm gonna lock everything in with a setting spray. I just like to drench myself in setting spray. Swim in setting spray. All right, now my face is done. Let's move over to the eyes. I'm firstly gonna start with my eyebrows. I'm just gonna fill them in a little bit. Especially where I have the gap. Usually my gap is towards the brow arch. So I prefer to fill that space in more than the rest of my eyebrow, just because I need to kind of frame my face, if that makes sense. And then whatever it's left on the spoolie, I'm just gonna spread it onto the inner part of my eyebrow without me having to add extra product there. Boom. Doing the same thing on the other eyebrow. And she's full. So next I'm gonna be applying the brow gel to set the hairs in place. I like to brush them upwards for a more fuller look. Now I'm gonna apply the same bronzer which I applied on my face with a blending brush, and I'm gonna start from the outer corner of my eye, slowly moving on to the inner corner. Quite often I love to use the same bronzer or blusher which I previously applied on the face, on the eyes as well as an eyeshadow, just because I feel like it's complementing the skin and it kind of, I don't know, matches and brings everything together in a very nice way. I made sure I blended the color in. And for my eye shape, I just like to extend it a little bit, just because I want a little bit more of lifted effect. You guys can go on the round side if you prefer that. I'm sometimes doing that as well. Let's do the second eye. I'm gonna use a pencil brush and the same bronzer that I previously applied, and I'm gonna blend it on the lower eyelid. I'm now gonna use a clean blending brush, and I'm just gonna blend the product even more, so then it will be softer. You guys can skip this step if you like how it looked so far. I just prefer to make it more like a daily type of makeup. Next, I'm gonna take a bit of a highlighter, and I'm gonna apply it with my finger on top of my eyelid just to brighten up the look. If you don't like shimmer, you can always apply a matte highlighter. But I just like to give to myself a more fresh, glowy look. Just tapping the excess on the arch of my eyebrow. Going in with mascara first. Moving on to the lips, I'm gonna softly line my lips using a nude pencil. A nude color, I meant. And I'm gonna use a creamy lipstick in the center. Alright, so look number one is finally done. It's very classy in my opinion, and it can work well with anything what you want to wear, and even you can wear it as an evening makeup as well. It's up to you. But now, if you want to transform it into an evening makeup, there are many ways. But two of my favorite ways are either focus on the eyes, adding some big voluminous lashes, or go ahead with darker eyeshadow. Either focus on the lips and go ahead with a dark lipstick, like preferably red. So this time I decided to go ahead with the eyeshadow, so I'm gonna be darkening up my eyeshadow instead. To avoid any mess and having to redo my under eyes, I prefer to go ahead with the same loose powder and do kind of a baking again. But this time I'm gonna let this powder on as long as I'm doing the eyeshadow, so it will protect my face and especially my under eyes of the fallouts. Especially if you're going with a dark eyeshadow, there is a higher chance to get messy under there. Next thing, I'm gonna go in with a dark brown eyeshadow and a pencil brush. And I'm gonna apply it firstly on the under eye, but only on the end of my eye, and kind of like extend it a little bit upwards. This will give me a really nice lifted shape of my eye. Now I'm gonna use the same dark brown color and I'm gonna connect it to the lash line and form some kind of smudged eyeliner with the same blending brush. Pardon me, it's a pencil brush. It already looks cool and I kind of want to leave it as it is, but I don't want to do a smudged liner look today. So I'm just gonna blend a little bit more. Next I'm gonna mix these shades over here and go exactly on top of the dark brown and blending it in. And then gently going in to my socket as well to create some depth. And same, I'm just gonna swipe it up to extend it. Next I'm going in with a clean small pencil / blending brush and I'm gonna use this shade over here, which is like a beigey tone, and I'm gonna blend the under eyebrow area, and this way I'm gonna get rid of any harsh line that's on the way and make the makeup a little bit more softer. Time to clean up the under eye area. I'm just swiping outwards the powder. I'm not pressing too much under the eyes because I don't want to move the concealer and all that work that I previously did. So with this clean brush, I'm just gonna clean the area. And in the same time, give myself a little bit more shape. Gently blending the outer corners of the eyeshadow. Now you can go ahead with it as it is, but in my case I prefer to make it a little bit lighter. So I'm just taking a clean blending brush and again I'm blending the eyeshadow out. Next I'm gonna add a highlighter into the inner corners to give it a little bit of pop. I'm gonna stop here with the intensity. I'm gonna add a couple of lash extensions into the outer corners and add some accessories and come back to you. The look is finally done. I added some extra highlighter just to make it look more glam. And of course I added some accessories and changed my hairstyle. And this is the classy evening look in my approach. I hope you guys liked it and I hope you found it useful. Follow me on my Instagram, that's where you can see more of what I'm doing. And if you guys have any suggestion, feel free to comment down below. I hope you'll have a wonderful day and see you guys in my next video.